Hello everyone, welcome to day 20 of the holiday card series for 2024. I'm back in my craft room. I'm back home from a whirlwind trip to Europe for the Christmas markets. It was a lot of travel. It was a lot of fun. It was so festive. I loved being over there. Before we get into the card for today, we have a little bit of housekeeping just to follow up to that Olo Markers Tower giveaway. We have a winner. I put the winner's name down in the video description. Melissa Schaefer, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me check. Yes, Melissa Schaefer. I have emailed you, Melissa, so please check your email so you can claim your prize. And a big congrats to Melissa and a big thank you to Olo for, sending that tower that I could share with Melissa. So I hope you guys enjoyed that sale over Olo Marker and taking them. Seriously, there were so many good Black Friday sales while I was gone. I was like on my phone, like doing a little shopping, a little crafting shopping, a little clothing shopping. It was a lot. Hello to everyone over in the chat. Hello, hello. So many familiar faces. I'm glad to be back live. I feel like it's been about 3 months, not just 2 weeks, but it's been a while. Another bit of housekeeping. My December 2024 release just went live today over at concordandninths.com. In fact, I'm going to be using a few of the items from the release in today's card. Even though the release is most definitely not holiday related, we are going to make it holiday related, with the right colors and the right festive attitude. I think you can almost make anything a Christmas card. So we're going to do that tonight. I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping we needed to go over. I think that's about it. So actually sitting in front of me, you're going to see, let's see, here we go. Here's the overhead. I have all my labels for my new release, which I have not put on the little thing. So I thought I would just do that real quick now while we're sitting here. So you're going to see my December release. I ran out of time. I printed out these labels right before we were going live. And I thought, you know what? It's not as important as getting everything else ready, like the camera and all that. So I put it off. And I thought I would just, show you a little glimpse of the release while I put the labels on. So 6x6 background snaps, actually like 5.5 by 5.5, like that's the workable area. Here's the Cheerful Flowers dies. We're going to be using the background stamp and the stencils tonight. So you're going to see this background stamp right here and also this stencil set. It's going to come back around. We're going to use those tonight. Hold on, my comments aren't scrolling, so I've got to move over there. Oh, Rosie, that's funny. Rosie says, I love how it's very Christina-y, but also very C9-y. You found the perfect company to be with. You know, it really is the best little morph. We're morphing together. It's just the best. It's worked out so well, and I love working with all those people. It kind of makes sense that like the style, like of what I do, would really mesh with the style of the people that are designing over at Concord and Ninth, because back in the day, we worked together at the same company, so I think having a similar aesthetic would, kind of lend itself to that. Granted, it's been like 15 years since we all worked together, and I'm sure we've all evolved in different ways. But one of the main designers over at Concord and Ninth, her name's Jen. We were actually roommates for a year. We were coworkers at an old company that we used to work for. And then we were roommates for a year. I know Jen very well. We have season tickets to Broadway shows here in Salt Lake City. So I see her quite often. And Murrow was talking shop when we're going to the show. So it's kind of funny. Oh, Bethany's asking, how's the jet lag? You know what? The jet lag hit me, right when I first got home yesterday. And I slept for like 9 to 10 hours straight. at not good sleeping hours. It was from like 2 p.m. to midnight. I've been awake since midnight. So that's 18 hours now. I'm sure I'm probably going to fall over very tired and asleep the minute I'm done with my live here. Where are my stamp pockets from? So they're from a few different places. The really, really heavy ones that are like this are from Brutus Monroe. They're 6x8, but they're exactly 6x8. So a 6x8 stamp set doesn't always fit inside because, you know, sometimes you need a little give on the sides. But I love these because it's like a really, really thick plastic. It's great for like larger die sets. So in fact, I think I might move these into one of those pockets. The larger pockets that will accommodate like, I don't know, how wide is this? It's like almost 7 inches wide. These, I believe, are from Simon Says Stamp. It's their largest pocket that they sell. And I use those for large stamp sets and as well as large stencils. And I just put black cardstock in the stencil pockets and white in the stamp. That helps, you know, visually keeping them separated in my head. And then these are clear cello sleeves that I bought at Simon Says Stamp, but they're actually much taller when you buy them, and I just lop them off a little smaller for all of my background stamps. So that's where all of those are from. Okay, let's get into today's cards, or card, I should say. Maybe I will make doubles because, you know, I'm getting ready to mail out Christmas cards, and I'm nervous I'm not going to have enough already made, you know? Like I'm starting to wonder. All right, I'm going to grab a couple other one other set of dies. It was from my October release. It's called Love and Light. I just thought I really like the sentiments in that one. Let's see. I think I already pulled it out. Yeah, here it is. This is the Love and Light stamp set and dies. And yeah, I really love that. Kathy's asking, what labeler do you use? I use a Brother, oh, sorry, wrong one. I use a Brother P-Touch Cube machine. You can hook it up to your computer and then print out your labels from there. I'll try to remember to link it in the video description, you know, when I'm done here. Okay. So I'm going to start by stamping the background stamp. And if you watched my release walkthrough video this morning, you may have seen me mention that this particular background stamp does match the stencil, but because the stamp can sort of kind of just like, you know, because it's this clear material, it can sort of stretch and warp as you're peeling it off the sheet. So I'm going to like be really careful as I peel it off the sheet. I mean, you could even just like tape this down and then it won't be warped. But because it comes off the backer sheet like this, it can kind of morph and warp the stamp a little bit. So sometimes the stencil won't match like perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just need to be careful. And then also when it comes to, I totally forgot to grab cardstock. When it comes to lining up the stencil, more than likely you're going to have to like stencil one portion and then like shift the stencil a little bit, stencil some more, shift. You'll see what I mean here in a minute, because without fail, it's going to be a little off. And it's just because of the nature of the clear stamp. Sorry, I'm just standing up and I'm walking away, but only so that I can come and cut some cardstock. Grab some cardstock, because I'm going to do a full 6x6 sheet. And so I'm just grabbing some cardstock and cutting it down. And I didn't have any cardstock handy. So I'm just going to prep this. Sorry, I'm completely off screen. Okay. All right, so I've got some white cardstock there. Here I am, coming on in. Okay. All right. I'm going to stamp right in the center of my cardstock here. And yeah, we're gonna do heat emboss lines on this. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure this is really in that corner. Make sure that's really down. I'm going to use an anti-static pattern tool just to prep the cardstock. I don't think it would get a whole lot of embossing pattern everywhere, but we'll just prep that a little bit. Oh, thank you, Sika. I love this sweatshirt. It's super fun. It was a, where did I get this from? So Sunshine Sisters on the TikTok shop, although they just have a regular website too. I think it's Sunshine Sisters. And their pajamas are very, very soft and wonderful. I have, let's see, I think I've bought Jennifer 3 pairs of pajamas from Sunshine Sisters. And then I think I have like 4 or 5 sets of pajamas from them. They're really great. All right. I'm going to use some Versamark, and my Versamark actually needs re-inking, so I'm actually not going to use Versamark. I'm going to use, I have some other ink pads from other companies that I think are a little more juicy. I'm going to use this one, the Embossing and Watermark ink pad from Hero Arts. Oh yeah, it's like super juicy. It's so juicy, it's about to fall off the pad. Do you see that? So I'm just going to be really careful as I use this. It's a very sticky ink, so it really just wants to stick to everything, doesn't it? Ink that up. I'm probably going to stamp this twice just to make sure I have a really good impression anyway. All right. Put that down. Use my little press tool. Press this down really well. I'm debating using my other stencil today too, doing a little layered stenciling. I think it could be interesting. All right, what is Brienne saying? Everything except the A7 dies. What? Oh, Brienne says, I did 0 investigation into these products before I bought them, so I'm glad I'm watching this. Okay, good to know. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, all right, so that's funny. Oh. I can see that's stamped pretty well. Can you kind of see that on camera a little bit? I'm going to stamp one more time just to make sure. Make sure I've got to figure out how, seriously, it's coming off. How do I get that back on there? Does anyone have a good way to glue that on? Because the ink pad is all saturated with the ink. I mean, right now it's reminding me of Slinky Dog. All right. Stamp this down. Use my press tool again. Oh, Thurza, thank you. Thurza says, just love your nails. Thank you. I just did them this morning at like, 2 a.m. when I was awake. Bing, like wide awake. Wide awake. Yeah, I'm going to crash here in a bit, I'm sure. All right. Okay, you know what? I think, yeah, that's a really good stamping right there. I don't think we're going to have any issues with that, but I am going to move my Misty off to the side a little bit while I do my embossing powder, just so I don't get embossing powder like absolutely everywhere. I do that a lot. And if I don't have like solid lines on this, it's not the end of the world. because, you know, if it starts to look a little rustic, I can add some gold splatter and then it looks intentional. There's a way to fix most any issue. Okay. Adding on these last few lines. I feel like I want it a little more solid right there. Okay, that's pretty good. And I'll use my heat tool on this. Let my heat tool warm up just a little bit. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer just snuck in. Okay. Just gonna melt all this embossing powder. Oh yeah, the heat tool is nice and hot. It's melting it right away. Jealous. Jennifer was at Brutus Monroe this weekend for their 10th anniversary. I'll make it out to the Brutus Monroe shop sometime. Okay, making sure I have all that melted. Beautiful. Oh, my camera just blipped out for a second there. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I think I might end up using my Misty again. I was just going to leave this stamp in my Misty and like not worry about it, but I think I probably will end up using this Misty again. Actually, you know what? I have two Misties now. I bought a backup because this one I was like, is it dying? It was kind of like, and like the hinges, I'm like, I feel like I've been really tough on the hinges. Like I've been really pressing on the door a lot. And this Misty has been going for like, I think I got this one before I moved to this house. So at least 4 years, at least, maybe even 5. So I was like, what's the expiration date on a Misty? I don't know. It just made me nervous. I was like, I don't want to be caught without a functional Misty, which just goes to show how reliant I have become on a stamping platform. Are all of you the same way? Like, do you just get nervous about stuff like that and you're like, I need a backup. I know Jennifer's like that. Susan says she's broken hinges on 2 Misties. Okay, so there is something to be said for, you know, babying the hinges a little bit. You know, stamp cleaner or baby wipe, which to use? I use both. If it's just Versamark or like a clear embossing ink, I just use a baby wipe because generally, like, in fact, sometimes I don't even clean it. Like, let's be real. Sometimes I don't even clean it. It's clear. It's almost like it conditions the stamp. It doesn't harm it. It's not going to be an issue. I mean, I guess it might be an issue if like later I was going to use that stamp for something that I wanted to stamp and not heat emboss, and then I was going to heat emboss something on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Like layering. I could see that being an issue. I don't think, I mean, that's a long shot. That's a long shot. That's not happening. Okay. Put my Misty away. But I do have, oh, and look at my pretty Misty that I bought. It's so clean. I decided to go for the teal one. It's so pretty. I mean, I like the black and the teal. You know what? I probably have a pink one around here somewhere. That's this original. I don't. I believe I sent it to someone as a giveaway. But, I mean, I think I had it at one point. I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm getting these ink pens all figured out over here. I think they're like bunnies. They're multiplying in my drawer. All the ink pads. All right, I'm going to use the Waffle Flower Grip Mat. This is the, what is this, 8 by 8, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5. Dang it, it probably smells fresh too. You know, it probably does. What is the scent of a fresh Misty? Is it morning sunrise? Is that what it would be called? Sorry, you guys. I'm on one tonight. This is, I think the tiredness is getting to me. The jet lag is getting to me. And, yeah. Okay, here we go. Here's the stencil over here. So the stencil set has 6 stencils. Choose a big one. And that's because you're going to you have the full design. If you just want to, we're a simple gal, we're going to do all the design on one. It's all good. You also have, this will do just the background, right? So we're going to use this today. Then you've got flower 1, flower 2, the flower centers, and then you have the leaves. So there's quite a bit of inks on here. So we basically need 2 flower colors, but I'm thinking we're going to make all the flowers red and then all the leaves green. And the background, I'm thinking like a deep red. I think that could be really cool. Okay, so I'm going to pick out some colors. We're going to go for Concord colors just because that's what I have. Okay. Well, I have other colors too, but I'm a little punchy, you guys. I swear it's got to be the jet lag. Okay. Ooh, watermelon. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys can't see these colors yet, but I'm going to show you. And then we're going to do 2 colors of green. Ooh, do I do like an aqua? That could be interesting. Let's do, okay. That could be interesting. We'll see. What are we thinking? Do we like this? Like, it's a little pinky red, but with like toned greens, like not bright green. I think that could be fun. Oh, Jennifer, don't be giving out my secrets. Jennifer's like, yeah. Okay. And remember when I said possibly use my other stencil? Where did those go? I just had them. Oh, they're over here. Like maybe I'll add my Gradual dot stencil. I think that's a great idea. We're going to add the Gradual dot stencil for some texture on the flowers. I think that's a great idea. Okay. Yana did a video? Oh, my first release. Yes, those were so good. Okay, what I'm going to do is I want to figure out, is this, oh, yep, that's where the stencil lines up. So I'm going to put it down. I'm going to let this waffle flower mat hold everything. I feel like that part's not completely melted. Hold on. I'm just going to hit it with my heat tool. Oh yeah, it wasn't completely melted. I'm just catching any other spots. Okay, we're good. pressing that down really well. Okay. What is Jennifer laughing at from Vicky? Vicky's funny. What's Vicky saying? I'm scrolling up. I'm just so distracted by the chat tonight. I'm like, I feel like squirrel. Like I cannot not do anything and keep my mind on it. Okay. I'm going to start with the background. You can start with any layer you want, but I find starting with the background first kind of helped me kind of visualize everything. Okay, so do you see how I'm lining it up in one spot and it's not lined up over here? That's because of the stamp being so large and kind of stretching and morphing as you pull it off the sheet. So I'm going to just, you know, do the best I can. And then if I need to move the stencil, I'll move the stencil. It's not a big deal. Yeah, like over here, it's really off, but up here it's more on. So that's what I'm gonna do. And just because there isn't much holding the stencil on over on this side, I am going to, you know what? It would be easier if I cut this down and then I'd have more of the stencil on the outside of it. I think that is a great idea. So I'm going to trim this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 real fast. And then I won't have to deal with that. I think that sounds great. I'm just going to trim it down a little. Who were we say? Wait, what? Oh, you guys talking about did Brutus Monroe do a grand prize this weekend? What was in it? I feel like I missed out on a ton. All right, I'm going to make this just a little smaller than an A2 card front. Okay. Ooh, yeah, that'll be nice and pretty. Okay, so then this should be 5 1/4. Perfect. I'm just making decisions as I go along here, hoping it makes it easier. Yes, I could have used my rectangle die, but I don't want to get it out. Being lazy. Okay, so now we'll do this. And now it has more area on the outside to stick to this grip mat. So it should be great. Okay. Trying to decide, are the flowers going to have a dot texture or is the background going to have a dot texture? I'm kind of thinking maybe I could do both. We'll do both. Okay. So the background, I was thinking it would be cranberry. Yeah, let's do cranberry. And, oh, look, I'm a convert. The, what are these called? Is it just ink pad hold? I can't remember. Jennifer, what are these called? But I'm a convert. I like it because it gives me a spot to put the lid. And then I don't get all weird and inky. Inkstand. Thank you, Scrappy Cat. Scrappy Cat was first to reply. Hold on. Got to get my... Okay. Oh, that's crusty. I think I need to clean that soon. It doesn't move. And it's just, well, as it moves. All right. I'm just going to add Cranberry. In fact, you know what? I might move to a smaller brush. I think it'll be a little bit easier. I think I will. Yeah, it's a little easier to really get in there with the smaller brush. It's a little bit hard to see with the larger brush, like where you're going when you're going over the stencil, when it's the head of the brush is so large, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a little bit easier to do it this way. So my plan is, I'm thinking I'm going to do this Cranberry, and then I want to do like an even darker red. So I might have to go grab a red from a different company, or I could even have it be brown, because browns look really good as like a darker tone for red. So I think that could work well too. So much stenciling. This is when I need a mic, Jennifer. I need a mic assistant. I need a not so crafty mic who's going to come in and tell me questions to answer. So I'm going to continue stenciling all the way over to this other side, even though it's not matched up completely, because then I'm just going to shift the stencil and I'll get those spots that I missed. Okay, getting the last few, and then I'll pick up my stencil and I'll shift it just a little bit, because I know for a fact I'm going to have white gaps over on this side. Because I did the gold heat embossing, the heat embossing does resist any of my red that's going on top of it, so there's that. That part's good. Okay, I'm going to lift up my stencil and I'm going to shift it over just a little bit in a couple spots. Like I can see right over here, there's quite a bit of white. Over here it lined up really well. But right here, it just needs to be shifted just a little so that I can get the other side and I won't have any weird white spots. So now I'll just come over here and I'll get that edge. In these little spots. Because I am going to be inking absolutely everything, having white lines would really be apparent. Okay. That looks pretty good. There's just a little spot right up here that I think I want to get, because the white is showing. I'm just being a perfectionist, that's all. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, I'm just going to set the stencil aside. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go run it under water right now, because the red inks stain your stencils. I mean, it's unavoidable. The ink is so strong and it's really nice. And I would just do my alcohol spray on this, but there was so much red ink on that. And then I can just leave the stencil drying. That'll work. Okay, that's really pretty, just with like the white flower, right? And I'm not doing dots on the background now. I was going to, but I just cleaned my stencil. I guess I could come back and do it later. Do I want to do it? I think I just want to keep it as the plain background. It kind of looks like velvet a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Moving on to, let's do the first flower, which I think there's only a couple little spots where you can actually see it. Actually, where is this lining up? Okay, there we go. So I can get it lined up on this side really well with the gold embossing. And then I'll lift it up and I'll move the stencil over to get this side. You can see how off it is over here. Okay, I'm gonna start with watermelon. And then I'm gonna go over the watermelon with the poppy. Okay. Darcy's saying, we need a link to that hot chocolate magic maker cup you used this morning. Yeah, I can link to that. It's from Hotel Chocolate or Hotel Chocolat. Okay. Just adding the watermelon on. I'm kind of concentrating the color on the center of the flower, but also I'm going to add some shading and a bit here as well. So, okay. Before I do the dots, I'm going to take a little bit of the poppy, and it still has cranberry ink on it. Let me see here. I've got a little bit of cardstock. I can just clean that off a little bit. I'm going to come in with the poppy, and I'm just adding a little bit in the center there. In fact, I might even add a little bit of the cranberry. Just to get a little bit of concentration of color. And then I'm going to take my Gradual Dots stencil pack. This is also from this release. And I'm thinking like the smaller dots, like right there. It's coming with that poppy. And go right over the top. And we'll get kind of like a textured look. Okay, how's that look? That's fun. I think dots are festive. Okay. Lift this up. Oh, that's cute. I like it. All right, we'll come over here for this other flower. Get that lined up. Looking good. I have too many inks. All right, coming in with the watermelon. I'm going to let it really fade off to almost white. In fact, maybe I won't do the poppy on this one. I'll just do more watermelon and we'll layer it that way. Because I want there to be some like color variation in the flowers. All right, how's that look? Cute. Okay. That's all we need from that stencil. We'll go to the second flower stencil. And I'll do the top flower and then the bottom flower. Get that lined up. And this is great because I can put my sentiment right there in the center. All right, more watermelon. I'm going to have this one be really light. So there's only going to be like this watermelon background in the center leading out. Okay. All right, this is a really big area, so this is when I am going to use my alcohol. Just clean that stencil off real quick because I don't want to add the poppy to it. But by using the rubbing alcohol, your stencil is dry and ready to go really quick. Okay. Maybe we'll have it even get to some of the big dots. Hold on. My stencil is got some on it. Okay, there we go. We'll have it come to some of these big dots. Let's bring that stencil down a little more. All right, going back to the watermelon and making sure I'm like kind of swirling in all directions so that I get the full surface area of each dot. Okay, let's see. That's pretty cute. I like it. All right. And then we'll do, I'm going to move the stencil. It's so cute. It makes me think of like Alice in Wonderland. Had like a little fuzz on me, on the flower. Okay. Yeah, about right there will work. We're taking the watermelon all the way out. We'll do a little bit of a darker one, like the first polka dot flower we did. This is the one where I also grabbed a little bit of poppy, or a lot of poppy in this case it looks like. Just pull that out, and then grab another little section of the stencil and more of that poppy. Just bring in those polka dots. Okay, I'm almost thinking maybe I'll grab a little bit of the cranberry. I don't know how much it'll really show, but yeah, I don't think it really shows much. Okay, so we have a little polka dot there. That's pretty cute. It looks like they all have chicken pox. A little bit. Looks a little bit like chicken pox. Okay, I think I do want to add a little more onto these, like so that the polka dots are a little more blended in. A little bit more like that. Does that make sense? So they look a little bit more like just an added texture, not... I think the polka dots are a little busy at the moment. So I'm thinking I just want to like have, and I'm doing poppy on this even though it's on the watermelon. I want them to sort of fade to the background a little bit. I don't want them to be quite so in your face, if that makes sense. So I think by adding just a little, like darkening up the center and bringing it out, I think that will quiet down the polka dots just a little bit, because they're a little intense. Yeah, I think that quiets them down a little bit. I'm gonna go back to that other flower. This one's okay, but this one's looking just a little too intense, I think. That, and I didn't get that little bit of the petal right there, so we'll do that. Okay, yeah, I think it's still cute, but I think it calms it down a little bit. Jennifer's asking for the card. Thank you, Jennifer, for the vote of confidence. Okay. So now for the leaves, we're going to switch to kind of like that blue thing. Okay. Jennifer just texted me and said, you might want to turn ads off. People are getting a lot of ads. I don't know where all the ads are coming from because I put them on. Okay, this is my frustration with YouTube. I adjust the ad settings so they're at the lowest possible and people still keep getting tons of ads. I need some clarification. For the people who say they are getting lots of ads, are you getting just little pop-up text ads? Like video continues, there's just a little text? Or are you getting like video stops, you can't watch, and you have to watch this ad? Like I need to know what's happening. I don't understand. Like I swear it's like no. When you're watching other people's live streams, are you getting ads like this? Is it just mine? What is happening? Terry says she's getting none. Scrappy Cat says no full-on video ads. So it's just the text ads. I don't know if people are just frustrated because they're seeing... People are saying full videos, 3 videos that stop the live. I haven't gotten any. I have no clue. Yeah, Jennifer's texting me. She's like, you can turn them off during the live and then turn them back on later. I know that, but I constantly forget and I don't turn it back on and then they're just sitting there with no ads, which is annoying. Anyway, I don't know because I feel for you guys saying that like these ads are annoying, but also like this, like the ads is what makes it free for me to post my videos. I feel like I'm like backed into a corner. Like if I don't put ads on things, YouTube comes back and they're like, hey, you know, like in fact, I'm pretty sure even if you say no ads, they still put ads on anyway because they have to pay for their servers too, you know? Like I like truly don't know what the best solution is for this. And I'm going to be real with you all. And this is not me being bratty or whatever. It makes me really sad when people say, I just got another ad. I just got another ad. I just got another ad. And I don't have any control over what ads you're getting. I don't have control over how many ads you're getting. I don't know. And I know you're just saying like, hey, here's an ad because that is what is happening on your end. But I'm wondering, do we need to hear about it in the chat? I know. I hate even saying that. But that's just kind of, I don't know, whatever. I'll shut up now. Moving on. I'm going to sea glass. We're going to start, sea glass is very light, so I'm going to start with a lighter brush. And then I'm going to add Juniper. I love sea glass and Juniper. For real though, in the comments, are the people who are seeing lots of ads, are you only seeing them on my lives or are you seeing them on other people's too? That's my other question. Because I'm trying to pinpoint it. At one point in the chat, we were thinking maybe it was by country, that like people in the UK were getting more ads than people who were in the US. Sorry, I said I was going to shut up and not say more about it, but here I am talking about it. All right, these leaves up here are really off, so I'm going to move my stencil. Actually, I'm going to ink blend with the Juniper first, because I don't want to have to move the stencil back. And I'm just adding the Juniper on, like down at the bottom section of each leaf. Only mine? What is... I only see them on your lives. I don't understand what I'm doing on mine. Okay, Cheryl says she's seen them on other lives, not just mine. Sandra says, but sometimes I see less than other times. I don't know. Missy says, sometimes I get no ads during your lives. Other times I get 10 to 15 short ones. It's random. I get them off and on. Watching other lives too. It's, huh. I don't know. It is a mystery. I think that YouTube, like, they got to figure it out. And I don't think you should have the video ads during a live because you're missing a portion of the live. Like, I'm okay if they put up a text ad on screen, like, I don't care. But I don't think it should be an ad that, like, takes away from the person who's live streaming. I think that's really dumb. Okay, let's hang this up. Now, these aren't going to stay. This is looking, all I'm thinking is this is looking like a pizza. I don't like this. I think the polka dots were a bad choice in the way that I did them. It's just too much red. I think that's what it is. It's just too much red. I should not be crafting on such little sleep. Okay. Not really little amount of sleep, just, you know, whatever. Okay. I'm abandoning this, y'all. I really don't like it. I don't like the color choice. I feel like it needs a different colored background. Okay. Make background black? I mean, I guess like there aren't many other choices because it would have to be a darker color than red. I've got to think this through. Hold on. I've got to go grab the other stencil, which is wet because I decided to soak it in my sink. Okay. Easy enough, just dry it off. All right, what are my options? I could make it a dark brown. I don't know how I feel about that. Black? I don't know. If I did a dark blue, it would probably turn a little bit purple, which isn't the end of the world. Let's see what happens when I put midnight on top. I think it might turn black anyway. All right, let's try a navy. What is happening? Okay, here we go. And I'll just, you know what, and if it messes up, it's fine. Because I was going to start over anyway. But if I salvage it, even better. Okay. Oh, it's totally going to turn black. Actually, it's kind of going to, I think it might go like a dark purple. kind of looks black. My Midnight ink pad is freshly re-inked, so it's juicy. All right, we'll see if this makes it better. And I already know I'm going to have to shift my stencil a little bit because I can see little peaks of red coming out. Okay. All I'm seeing is chili peppers. Like that's the color that I see. This is a lot of ink. Okay. And I know there's like quite a bit of ink over here, so I'm just gonna like, I'm scrubbing this before I lift it up so it still protects the red underneath. Okay. And I still have to do those leaves up in that top corner. Okay. I don't hate it, but it is also not my favorite. Huh. Trying to decide how I feel about this. All right, let's do these two other little leaves up here. Oh my word, that was a lot of ink that came out. I must have just recently re-inked that sea glass as well. Like, wow. You know what it might be? It might be that the red is just looking like one note, like one color. Like maybe I need to add an additional color to the red flowers to have them look a little bit more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I just need I also haven't done the centers of the flowers yet. That'll help a little bit too. But hear me out. This might be weird. Ooh, do I dare do that color? No. Maybe. All right. All right, let's see here. this might ruin it. But like I said, we're to the point where I was ready to start over anyway. So what does it matter? I feel like I want to like cover it up, and then when it's done, let you see. Fig. Sometimes fig fixes everything. So we're just going to go with it. We're going to put a little bit of fig on and see what happens. Because it can be kind of a darkerish purple. And I'm wondering if that'll be like the deeper color in the center that I was sort of craving. Because if we're going for drama, am I the drama? I love that meme. All right. Let's shift the stencil. Oh, this is not even Christmas anymore, y'all. Okay. I think I ruined it. But like I said, I was not loving it to begin with, so really ruining it more than it already was ruined. Was it really ruining it? If you only further ruin something that was already not something you loved, is it actually ruining it? No. You're eliminating things that didn't work. That's what you're doing. Well, you can't say you didn't try. The flower tips need to be darker. That could be it. That could be what I'm like not jiving with. I'm just bringing that fig all the way out to the end. It's almost like this weird purpley pink now. Huh. It's like the flowers just cannot decide what they want to be. I like that better with a little bit of purple on the end of the flowers. Huh. Gold splatter might help it a little bit. That is true. I actually have a little blue left on my brush. I don't even need to dip into the ink pad, really. Okay. Darkened up the leaves. All right. Let's do the centers of the flowers before I keep going any further. In fact, maybe that's where I can bring in the bright red. I don't know. Oh, I just had a stencil fall on the ground. It fell ink side up, so that's good. All right, or maybe I'll just do like watermelon. I'll just do a pink. That might be pretty. We'll do the watermelon. It's okay. Not my favorite. But sometimes you have to let a card grow on you, you know? Like I've had some times where I'm like, this is the most hideous thing I have ever seen. But I'm like, well, I'll just keep going. And I eventually finish the card and I still don't really love it. And then it's almost like without fail, I post it online and people are like, that's the best card. I love it. And I'm like, wow, okay. Okay, it's growing on me. It's growing on me now. The pink centers helped it. It is not Christmassy, but you know what? A sentiment will make it Christmassy. And also, now that the inks are drying back, I'm liking it more too. There is that. Okay, let's lift this up and clean this off. And I think I do want to add that gold splatter that we were talking about. Okay. I'm really not, you know what? I want to be like, I love everything down there. This flower up here, I'm not loving. I love everything right there. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I don't like that as much. Okay. Put the backer sheets back on this, the protective sheets. All right. And then we're doing some gold splatter. Alrighty, I'm gonna use my favorite gold, which I need to order more of. I'm almost out of. Like I'm down to the bottom. But it is the color Star from Yuli Watercolors. I feel like I probably have ink on the, oh, I totally do. I have ink on the gold embossing. You know, I could also salvage this by like using an arch die that like cuts off the top portion of that flower. I think it could work. Like we're just gonna lop off the portion I don't like. I don't know. I think I like the more intense red down here and not so purpley there. Whatever. Whatever. You know, as I'm seeing the color combo that I had picked out, like sitting up here with the ink pads, I do really love it. All right, let's get some gold paint ready to go. Okay, so I find that this particular color from Yuli Watercolors called Star, that it matches the gilded embossing pattern from British Monroe, which is the gold that I use for my embossing. So I tend to use these two products together quite a bit. That's probably why this paint pan is like nearing the end of its life, because it matches. All right, I'm just getting that up a little more mixed up. Then I'm going to splatter it off the edge of an acrylic block like usual. Okay. We're going to make it rustic. Okay. I'm going to coat that flower up there I don't like with lots of paint splatter. That's how we'll save it, right? It does break up a lot of the black, which I love. Especially as I'm adding these like really little flicks. And also the greeting's probably going to go over that center area anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I got gold splatter all over. But that's just the name of the game is splatter, right? You can't control where it goes. Alrighty, pick this up. I do like it with the splatter more. I think it adds quite a bit. Like I said, it's growing on me. It's not my favorite yet. It's growing on me. Clean off my brush. Just because I don't want to have to get up and go to the sink right now. All right, so this is going to dry for a minute, and I'm going to work on my sentiment while it dries. Okay, so where'd my other stamp set go? Here it is. I thought I'd just do the Happy Holidays from this stamp die set. So we've got holidays. So I think I'll just do May Your Holidays Be Filled with Joy. So I'm trying to think what color cardstock would go well with that. I guess I could do black. And also, let me bring this background back. The holidays. I'm trying to figure out, it probably would go better if it was a landscape. Like, really? I guess I could put it on a 5x7 card. Huh. Thinking. Oh, that is not 5x7. That's too big to be 5x7. Hold on. I'm thinking, what is this? Huh. I could have it centered off to the side on the 5x7. It's got just about the right matting around it. And I'm thinking like cranberry. Let's see here. I don't know if I want a colored card base. I think I want the white, but as far as cardstock color goes for the greeting, I know I'm going to have some of it be gold. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my gold cardstock. Here, I'm struggling over here. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna take me off screen so I could be standing up for all of this. But I've got all my swatches from C9 over here. I'm just like, okay, what would be the best? In a weird way, Briar Rose kind of goes with it, right? In a weird way. Cranberry might bring in a little bit more of the holiday. I could even do a little bit of Juniper. Nah, I think I kind of want to lead into the Cranberry. Watermelon, no. Poppy, no. Let's see. Rainforest. I'm thinking I'll have the holidays be in gold, but the greeting above and below, I want to be in a different color. Evergreen almost matches, but not quite. Peacock almost matches. Wildberry? No. It's close though. I guess I could do white with a gold greeting embossed on it. That wouldn't look too bad. Y'all, I haven't crafted in like 3 weeks. Because I was out of town for almost 2, and then I had like computer work to do right before I left, so I wasn't crafting. I mean, I guess I did do my live that was just 2 weeks ago, but... You know, or I change up the sentiment completely where I don't need a sub-sentiment stamped, and I just do a full greeting. I could also do that. And then I don't have to deal with, you know, mismatched colors. Hold on, I gotta move these stencils that have ink all over them out of the way, or else I'm gonna get ink all over my hand. And then all over my white card base. Okay. Let's see here. Gold frame would be nice. I am missing the other half to this stamp set. Where did it go? Like I have the... Hello? Hello. All right. We're going to the depths of my die collection. We're looking for a different sentiment. We're off the rails, y'all. Okay. Let's see here. Words, holiday. We're going to find something that works. I know I've got some like older, really large greetings that I did for Simon that might work. I'm just looking for something that'll tie it all together, you know? We have a Happy Christmas that's a little bit larger and a full sentiment. Let's see here. I think that could look nice. And maybe even do it on like white foam. Maybe. Okay. Put these away for now. And trying to get everything down to my die cutting machine. It was like buried. All right, I've got matte gold cardstock. This piece looks like it's just about the right size, almost perfect. I do have a gold glitter foam, or even a red? No. I don't think the gold would match. Let's see here. Actually, it's not that bad. But I think I want it a little bit less busy just because the flowers are a little busy. So I'll keep it to just the matte gold. All right, we take out this shim so I don't get too big of those, like, you know, the little circular nubbies that you get on your dies or your die cuts when your pressure's too high. Okay, let's see here. Before I lose the dot on the eye, let's get that over here. There we go. Where'd it go? Oh, it's stuck to the back. There we go. Okay. Didn't cut that little spot. Come on. Like I could see where it didn't cut for whatever reason. What in the world? There's like more than one spot that it didn't cut. I think I really did need that other shim in there. Trying to salvage it, y'all. We've all had those dies that just give you fits. There we go. Got a little scrunched, but we'll get him in the end. Okay. Obviously, gonna need the little shadow on this just because it's a little hard to read. The jet lag is jet lagging, y'all. I'm feeling it. I have hit that proverbial wall. Oh dear. Okay. All right, here's the 5x7 card base. I'm just like thinking this through, like, what am I doing? Okay. Not loving that. Okay, hold on. I'm having a thought. If I can find this die set that I'm thinking of. Oh dear, I don't know if I have it over here. Oh, I don't think I do. Okay. Trying to see if I can salvage this. Huh. I don't think I'm even going to ask for opinions on this. I'm just going to do it. Hey, Kathy. Oh my word, I feel so much better. Y'all, I hated that flower. I could like not even look past it. The color on it, I was just, no. And that makes me sad. I know some of you really loved it. I could not bring myself to like it. I was like, no, it needs to go. Okay. Okay. So this was the A2 Thin Frames dies. Hey Kathy, I'm struggling. This card is not wanting to be carding right now. It's coming around. I'm now enjoying it. But she was reluctant. She did not want to be a card. Put it that way. Okay. And then we are grabbing a sentiment strip. I don't know, do I have any Christmas ones? I know I do, somewhere. You know, I probably set them aside. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did. They're probably right down here. Hold on. Sentiment strips, there we go. Okay, any of those would be good. All right. Just grabbing some other sentiment strips. Grabbing a A2 card front. Took us a while, but we got here. Okay. I'm going to adhere this just directly down onto the card front. Oh, look, I still have the Post-it tape attached. All right, and I'm going to do it this way in case I want to do it landscape. I might want to do it landscape. Adhere that on. Then when it comes to the thin frame, I find it easiest to add the glue right around the inner area. And if you're not using the inner area, like just temporarily adhere it, and then you have something to guide you when you go to put the frame on. Here we go. All right. And then I just have to pick out a sentiment strip. Do I want it to just be Happy Christmas? CZ, I'm going to use your sentiment strips. Wishing you peace and joy would be a good one, I think. I like that. Okay. Oh, the pen's already out. I went to get it out of a drawer, but the pen's already there. Love it. I'm coloring the edges of the white cardstock that this sentiment strip is printed on. And then it makes it look like it's like a black piece of cardstock with white ink on it. Okay. And then I'm gonna grab some, well, I was gonna grab some foam, but they're stuck together. Grab a foam strip. That looks about right. Oh, perfect. I love it when I do that. When you cut off the perfect amount of foam. Oh, it's so good. Okay. I don't want to cover a bunch of this up, which sounds crazy to say because I was like not enjoying the background there for a minute. But now I really like it like this. And it's just simple. And I think it kind of goes Christmas a little bit. I think it could go there. Amber says, the evolution of this card has been fascinating. Right? It went about 5 different directions. We got there eventually. Oh, y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. This is me. I had all this energy at the beginning. None at the end here. But I do like how it turned out. I think this stark black background I wasn't loving just because I wasn't anticipating it. And the gold splatter on the background helps with that. Getting rid of that one flower, which is now in the bottom of my trash can, was like a huge relief. Like trying to get, okay, lessons I learned. Trying, like if there is some element you were just really not loving, at some point you just have to get rid of it. You know, you're always going to hate it if you keep forcing it. Just getting rid of that one flower, whew, so much relief. And then suddenly I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do now. So anyway, this just goes to show you can't force something that's not there. Yes, thank you. May I have a shorter but as deep a sleep? Yes, thank you. I said on my Instagram stories that I had a little bit of a sore throat, and I still do a little bit. I think it's mostly just from being out in the cold and all the cold air, but because it hasn't progressed beyond that, and I'm not coughing, so I'm pretty sure that's all it is. But I think that's probably why I've needed to sleep a little bit more too. Kathy, stop trying to make fetch happen. Exactly. That flower was fetch. And it was not happening. Too funny. Oh, thank you, Twyla, for the super chat. Thank you. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. Oh, it looks like I got another one. What was the other one? Hold on. Let me see what the other one was. From Jojo. Oh, Jojo, thank you. I'm not sure when that came through, but thank you. Or Lojo, sorry. Lojo, not Jojo. Thank you. That's very sweet. Anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. This was a train wreck if I've ever seen one. I'm going to do a quick spiel for those watching the edited replay. They're not going to see all that happened. They're just going to see the pertinent parts to what I did. They have no idea. Their poor little innocent souls have no idea. All right. I'll do a little spell for those watching the edited replay, and then we'll call it a night. All right, so here is the card for tonight. It took some twists and turns. We ended with this very simple card design here at the end. I think it turned out pretty good, even for everything that I went through to get here, but you know, it turned out. Thanks so much for watching. This was day 20 of the holiday card series. So in the links down below in the video description, I've got every day 20 for the last 15 years listed. So if you would like to check any of those out, take a walk down memory lane, as I've been saying. You can click through and watch any of those from day 20. Thanks for watching today, and I will see you on Wednesday for day 21. Okay. Yes, they're missing the journey. And I just saw another super chat come through from, let me scroll up, from Barb. Thank you, Barb. That was very kind of you. You're like, let's throw her a bone here at the end. It just makes me laugh. You guys are very sweet. Thank you. Cheryl says replay will probably be 5 minutes. I know, right? It'll be just the stenciling. Just the stenciling and then fixing the background. It's too funny. What is Sika saying? I didn't hear what she said. Oh, I wish my train wrecks turned out so well. Well, you know, like if this was a regular card video that I was editing, I would not have taken it to this point. I would have started over like much sooner and tried to get it to look like what I was envisioning when I first started out. But I think because I was live, I was already so far down this road, there was no turning around. Anyway, yeah. All right, I'm going to go sleep. I don't think I even have anything tomorrow early in the day, so I think I might just sleep in as much as possible. But yeah. All right, everyone have a lovely night. Thank you so much for your support and for all the suggestions, helping me work through this tonight. I'll be back on Wednesday, day 21, which is crazy. There's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 left. There's only 5. I had to use my fingers. I am not a math major. I used my fingers to count that. All right. Have a lovely night, everyone. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.